This is the 3-star only clear for Abyss Floor 102. This setup is kind of absurd. We've got Christy, Camilla, Lorina, and Ras 3 free units, with Christy being the only unit you need to roll. You don't even need her SC, she's just here for her S2, so her base form works fine. The thing about this setup is you kind of don't even need to know what any of the mechanics are. You can kind of just hit boss and it will die. You can play super badly and you will be fine. So with the buffs, Commander Lorina, Christy, Insane Duo works great here too. Let's take a look at their stats. Christy, you want 150 effect resistance. It depends on what your Lorina's F-res is, to be honest, but you want your Lorina to be full damage. She has 50 F-res at base, so aim for 150 with Christy. If you can hit 200, if you have the gear for it, it's, I guess, nice, because then you'll consistently resist stuff, except for that one light add that ignores F-res for some reason. But it doesn't really matter, because your Christy is just an S2 bot. Besides F-res, speed, HP, defense, I guess, doesn't really matter. I gave her Steadfast Gatekeeper just to give her damage reduction, but this also kind of does not really matter. Her self-imprint is nice if you're struggling with the F-res. Skill enhances, don't need any. For the skill tree, you have to... The important one is here. This one, Guard Rune, 30% damage share from the ally in the back row. Makes Commander Lorina stupidly tanky with her damage limit too. You need +9 for this though, which I would recommend this one, and this one. If you really want to be cheap, you could probably skip one enhance here, because you have to +1 this to get to this one anyways. Next up is Camilla. For Camilla, 165 effectiveness is the important one. This is because of Celine's passive. That makes you need an extra 100 effectiveness on any non-fire heroes. And then besides that, kind of just give her a bunch of speed with some bulk. I intentionally lowered her speed just to make it a bit more relatable, but if you can make her like 240, 250, you might as well run that. For her artifact, I gave her Warhorn just to boost Lorina's attack a little bit. I don't have much imprints on mine, but then for her skill enhances, might as well max the Death Break chance on her S1, and then the -1 turn on her S2. Now for Commander Lorina, full damage, Destruction pen set with Daydream Joker, pretty much the standard PvE build. You can see here her 50 F-res, she's getting 166 from Christy, who passes over 100% of her F-res now thanks to the buffs. So she's at 216 F-res, that's enough to hit 200. You want 200 for some effects in her skill tree. Skill enhances, just max everything, she's a DPS. And then for the skill tree, her buffs gave her some nice stuff, like if she has 200 F-res, she has damage limit, and this stacked with the damage share from Christy is really nice. She also gets something on her S3, one of these, 50% Death Pen if she has 200 F-res or more. This is just increased damage, a little bit of healing, which is nice, self-sustain, damage, attack, dual attack chance. Yeah, so pretty much everything except for the CR pushback on S3 is what you want on her skill tree. Last up is Ras. 65 effectiveness, then just bulk and speed. I gave them just the free HP sets to keep it relatable. The artifact I gave him Arius to reduce Christy's damage taken by a little bit, but it kind of doesn't really matter. Like I said, you can do pretty much whatever with this team, and it kind of works. Skill enhances, don't need any. Or his skill tree, I've kind of forgotten what these are at this point, but I would say pick up this Solitude Rune. It's just nice, because this makes it so that you can let Celine hit Commander Lorina like 10 times before she dies. Besides that, you want the Death Break on S2 as well. But you might as well pick up all the normal stuff since it's a pretty good unit. Immunity on S2, free speed, free HP, free effectiveness, and I think these two are the CR push ones. Yeah. So pretty much everything except for these two. And let's go straight into a run. So starting off, we're just gonna Camilla S2. And when you're fighting Icarus, I like just clicking this, because his hitbox is kind of thin, and the robot is very big behind him. If you don't land your Death Break, then... Actually, okay. I was gonna say you can S3 him here, but I like saving the S3 anyways, just because of turn order and stuff, like turn cooldowns when you go into the Camilla fight. All you really need to know about here is just when you hit Icarus, the guy in the back pushes, so only hit him if you plan on dealing damage or death breaking him. If you hit Hazel enough times, everybody, including you and the enemies, get skill null. That's all that really happens on this floor. He has skill null, so I'm not even going to bother hitting him. We're just going to hit him on this turn instead. And then now we can kill him and go into wave 2. So here we're gonna press S2 here. Swing targets based on the number. 1 is highest attack. We had skill null, but even without it we have damage limit. I like soul burning here. And a death break, nice. 3 is highest HP. I think S1 just attacks randomly. I don't think it actually follows this. Yeah, this is only for her S2. But everybody else, you just hit Celine. It doesn't matter. Only thing to note is that she swaps phases at 40% this marker here. And when you go below 40%, she's in S2 twice, which kind of doesn't matter because we can just face tank it no problem. Okay, that was a kind of lucky dual attack there. This is very good timing. 2 is completely random, 3 is highest HP, 1 is highest attack. We're gonna hit her twice here, she's gonna flip to 1. So even if she's on 2, you can just tank it. Like, you're not gonna die. Like, Camilla could tank 2 Selena S2s and be fine. Ideally it goes into Lorina or Ras though, just because Lorina can face tank it completely fine. And even without immunity, she has the F-res to not get pushed back, while Ras can self-immunity buff. That unbuffable is kind of unfortunate. In phase 2, you start losing your buffs really fast, because one of the adds reduces your buff durations. While the other one heals her. That's the one that ignores F-res that I mentioned. But honestly, like, you're tanky, you have F-res, it doesn't matter. We're just going to hit Celine, and she will die eventually. And here it's on 3, it's gonna go into Ras. I completely forgot that I had a buffable. It's fine. I should have pressed S3. So that is the annoying skill here. Ideally you kill her before that goes off, but Celine S3 does a ridiculous amount of damage, and pretty much one-shots whatever it touches, except for Commander Lorina, I guess, because she has damage limit. Usually you would kill her before the S3 even goes off, but we had pretty bad RNG this run. This is actually like the worst RNG I've had while testing this. Trying to remember, her S2 damage limit is 35% of her HP. And even with that really bad RNG, we still managed to clear. Let's do it again and see if we can get a cleaner run going.
좋은 말로 할 때 부탁할게. 꼭 싸워야 한다면 여기 준비됐어요. 방패 기사단은 물러서지 않습니다. 승리의 깃발 아래 오늘도 전진. 별거 아닌 애송이군. 기회다. 싸워요. 내가 앞장설 테니 모두 안심하라고. 보호할 겁니다. 야, 군법대로 처리하겠어.
시작해 볼까?
야, 수행이 계속할 거예요. 자, 몰아붙여라. 준비됐어요.
모두를 위해 이 깃발을 들어올리겠어.
정말로 할 때 듣지. 야,
좋아. 한번 해보자고.
지휘관이 근성을 보여드리죠.
Okay, so that was also I kind of messed up there. I was a bit too greedy looking for better cooldown timings, but it's fine. We don't have skill null this time. It's I killed Hazel by accident. You can see Lorina's just gonna face tank it. Got our death break 15%ed. Ras didn't get stunned, so that's something going for us.
방패기사단은 물러서지 않습니다.
꼭 싸워야 한다면 아벨 정화의 불길이여. 좋은 말로 할 때 들어야지.
That's one of her passives, I think. If you hit her while debuffed, I probably should not have pressed S3 there.
단칼에 숨통을 끊어주마. 기회다.
준비됐어요. 제 창이 여러분을 보호할
In that situation, you just S1 the ad until your debuff wears off. Something like that.
좋은 말로 할 때 듣지. 도와줘. 함께 싸워요.
내가 지켜줄게.
Well, it's in there somewhere.
준비됐어요.
Now, after successfully evading, activates Thunderclap against a random enemy.
보여드리죠.
Here, I mean, Christy might die, but it doesn't really matter. I guess not since she has death buff instead, past Gatekeeper.
내가 시범을 보이지.
This is where that buff reduction becomes a bit annoying. We can actually S3 here to give everybody attack buff again.
열심히 해볼까? 넉넉하지 말라고.
Ross has death buff plus immunity, he can tank that no problem.
한번 해보자고. 도와줘. 별거 아닌 애송이군.
Unlucky crit, there goes our souls.
몰아붙여라.
함께 싸워요. 수행이 계속할 거예요. 자, 상관과 같이. 이렇게 된 이상 질 수 없지. 넉넉하지 말라고.
내 비장의 무기를 보여줘야 하나? 다쳐도 나는 내가 시범을 보이지.
Thank God they gave her damage limit because that kills in most, or that kills pretty much anything her S3 with attack buff.
하지 말고 대처해. 빈틈이다.
준비됐어요.
No death break, sadly. We are just going to S3 anyways.
모든 것을 돌아버리겠어.
단칼에 숨통을 끊어주마. 꼭 싸워야 한다면 여기.
함께 싸워요. 지휘관이 근성.
Not fantastic RNG again, but we still cleared. Definitely, I like some of the gear that I'm using on mainly Camilla and Ras, and also Christy, I guess, is not fantastic. Will be a lot more consistent with better gear, which even new players have these days.